Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm back. Okay. What is this? Okay. So I will continue back on our last part. Okay, our first part is about number one, the history of the international monetary system. The second part is about the balance of payment accounting system. And what is this? Okay, it's distracting, right? Okay, stop for a while sharing this one. Okay, I hope okay. Okay, so yeah, we will continue on the rationale for trade intervention. So as you can see from here, there is a issue on international trade. Should a national government intervene to protect the country's domestic firms by taxing foreign goods entering the domestic market or constructing other barriers against imports? And the second issue is about should a national government directly help the country domestic firms increase their foreign firms, increase their um, again, should a national government, sorry, should a national government directly help the country domestic firms increase their foreign sales through export subsidies, government to government negotiation, and guaranteed loan program? So basically, we move to the issue by helping that they have to whether there is a rationale for the government to have trade intervention towards the business or the organization. So we do have free trade, okay, versus versus I think this one is much better. Okay, we have free trade, okay, versus fair trade. Okay, free trade meaning to say minimal influence from the government. So minimal meaning to say they have a very less interference from the government. Example, I do like this in the class. I used to like example. Okay, if let's say free trade, I give example like company A Asia, our Malaysia airline services, but competitors to Malaysia airline system. Okay, Asia company have, because this company is private company and they have a very minimal influence from the government due to privatization. So mostly I give an example like this. Let's say in free trade, free versus fair trade, because the pronunciation is almost similar, right? Free trade, okay. Terima kasih, Cik. Okay. Free trade meaning to say the company have 90% on profit, okay, whereby the government is only have 10% from their profit. This is an example to show the differentiation between two. Okay, free trade because they have minimal influence from the government. That's why 90% of their profit will goes to the company itself, and 10% will goes to the government. Whereby for the fair trade, okay, they have active interventions from the government, meaning they have managed trade, the government managed trade from them. So I used to use example like Malaysia Airlines system, because this is mostly like government company. So Malaysia Airlines system, they are active intervention from the government. So 90% of their profits will go to the government and 10% is to the company. Are you get me? So this is example to make you clear. Right. So if let's say 90% to the company and 10% to the government, they want free trade. Read my lips, okay? Free trade. Whereby fair trade, okay, fair trade meaning 90% goes to the government and 10% goes to the company. Okay, so that one is for to differentiate between the free trade or fair trade, right? And we're moving on to the next one. Okay, rational for trade interventions for industry level agreements. Um, Under industry level agreements, we have four. We have national defense agreement, infant industry agreements, maintenance of the existing jobs, and the strategic trade theory. Okay, the first one, we go with the national defense argument. The country must be self-sufficient in the critical raw materials, machinery and technology, or else be vulnerable to the foreign threats. There are appeals to general publics, and mostly they are protect skills, electronics and machine tools industry and merchant marines. So I give example like Malaysia, we do have our national car like Proton. So Proton will be one of the protect industry. Okay, you also they have under government link company. So basically, when we're talking about the national defense argument here, the critical raw materials, machinery, and technology all are else been vulnerable to foreign threats. Okay, because we have the kinds of, can I say, protectionism. So that's why the government is protecting Proton by imposing quite high tax towards the imported car. Okay, just to protect the local car. The second one, infant industry argument, impositions of tariff to give US firms temporary protection from the foreign competition until the firm are fully established. Powerful economic development strategy, and which industry should be protected for how long. Just now I using also like Proton, right, national defense argument, and another way around, maybe like in Malaysia also we do have like oil and gas company under Petronas. That one also considered as one of national defense argument. Okay, the second one for infant industry argument, of course the most protected industry is like Proton, okay, and Malaysia land system, okay, and the reason is asking which industry should be protected, okay, for how long. I think that until now both of these company I mentioned is long. With like Proton since 1984, it's already 36 years it's been protected by the government. Uh, Maybe you know what I'm trying to say here, right? It's too long. Whereas when you are the company who are being too protected, okay, somehow it's good for the nation, but in other way around, the company is not go for independent. Okay, and we move to the maintenance of the existing jobs. Jobs in the high wage country are threatened by the imports from the low wage country. So most probably for the jobs in high wage country, mostly they give more wages, okay, to those. If you realize in Malaysia itself, they're training more foreign workers like Bangladeshi, Indonesian, Nepal, Myanmar is coming to Malaysia, and because they are being paid well in here compared to in the low wage country, the reason they have to migrate to the another country. I'm not saying that we are high wage country, but compared to their country, we are giving more. So that's why they migrate here in order to search for the income. Okay, and the forms of the existence, they say India they have tarif. Okay, I do believe that when we have the tarif, it's a part of some of the sub income. Not sub, actually it's direct income to the country itself. When you impose tax, actually you are giving some of the income to the country, and of course when the country have this kind of income, they can have facilitate and services to their society. Okay, not only come from the income tax that been paid by the people itself, by the public, but also it come from the country who are invested towards us. And the quotas, this is some of the limitation they put under certain country, because certain country they um, okay, sorry, when we're talking about job, okay, I do have related with the tarif just now. When they have more what we call foreign workers or foreign employees coming to the country, of course, the country will get some profits. Okay, when they are paying levy, for example, they are paying some we call as transit tarif. Okay, levy, example like visa, passport, they do have some income on that. The country that they go for, they migrate. For example, like they say like Indonesian employees, okay, workers is coming to Malaysia, so they will pay for their certain transit tarif. Okay, we call as maybe like we have permits for workers, visa workers. Okay, so that is part of the tarif. And quotas, certain country they put some limitation. Okay, I do believe like Switzerland, they only accept for the workers to have 1 year. Okay, they call green card. After 1 year, if you still at the country, you have to go back to your own country. Okay, because they put some limitation only for the certain duration you are only be here because of the purpose maybe working for temporary. If more than that, you might be inquiry. Okay, alright, and then we moving to the next one. Okay, we still under rationale for trade intervention. Okay, uh, how to say that national government can make its country better off if it adopts trade policies that improve the competitiveness of its domestic firms in oligopolistic industry. Okay, so in here, if you do not know what's mean oligopolistic, okay, it meaning to say, sorry, yes, student, keep on having. Okay. So, oligopolistic meaning to say, you have the few of the competitors in one industry. Example, like in Malaysia, we do have Malaysian system mass versus in Asia because we have only few. Okay, and then um, within the same country, okay, the competitors, and then like Proton, we do have program. So they say in here, national government can adopt better of trade policy if they can improve the competitiveness of its domestic firms in oligopolistic industry. No, we are talking about Proton versus Toyota now because we are talking about within the same industry. So the more oligopolistic industry in the domestic firm, the more that actually the national government will have better on the trade policies because they want to have intense competition. Dia nak ada persaingan yang sengit. Bukannya ada dua saja oligopoly company but they want to have more. So they said, they give example here, Boeing believes that the loans given to the Airbus by European government to fund the A380's research and development constitute a violation of international trade rules. Jadi berkenaan tentang macam mana Europe government memberi Boeing some of loan lah untuk membuat some R&D dan dia dikatakan menyalahi dari segi undang-undang international trade, undang-undang perdagangan antarabangsa lah. So according to the National Trade Policies Economic Development Program, we have export promotion strategy, import substitution strategy, and then we do have industrial policy, key domestic industries chosen, protected and promoted, and public choice analysis, consumer versus special interest group. This is about national trade policy towards export and import strategy. I do believe like Malaysia, because we are having like for those who are listening up to my yesterday entrepreneurship lecture, right? So like Malaysia, we have a lot like agencies that supported under like they have business support system like Pharma, Nordin, Matre. So they do have this kind of strategy in order to export, do export and import. They say like in UK we do have like Malaysia kitchen okay, in there. I believe that Indonesia also have lots of your Indonesian cuisine in everywhere, every part of the world. Okay, we do have Indonesian. I do believe on that fact because Indonesia is the types of the kind people who are very survival and you are very independent on the way on you can have survive in let's say in one country you can easily adapt and adopt. I'm not praising but it's just a compliment to say that you are much better in the kind of how to survive in the new country that you are visit. Okay, you can survive it. You know how to start the life well and quick adapt. Okay, and the good things about Indonesia, okay, you can maybe build your own empire. For example, like your own restaurant, okay, and you can have your own like area Indonesia village, for example, Indonesia port in that. Okay, so this is a good thing because maybe some Malaysian have to they have survival strategy. So it's very good. And then I believe in terms of the export and import also they can bring like now before this I do not know what is ayam penyet, what is pecel lele, everything. But also when this kind of cuisine is coming to Malaysia and they start to know, and we are Malaysian like to try everything, right? When they have been introduced, okay, and we start to learn. Oh, this is ayam penyet. This is, yeah. They also have like a franchising company like ayam penyet Ria. Okay, so Wong Solo, yeah, yeah, something like that. They also franchising business, so it's very good. It's a part, also part of how do you do that promotion strategy on your Indonesian cuisine. Huh? Okay, and then industry policy. Yeah, we're talking about just now. Domestic industry like protected like steel. Okay, marines. What else? So we do also have uh, automobile industry, telecommunication industry, and then public choice analysis talking about consumer versus special interest group. How do the customer prefer to the certain of I can say that their preferences towards certain product and services. This one is more on consumer behavior subject, okay? But we can have the public choice analysis. They have a lot of survey being done by to know which is most customers preferred on. Maybe for example, Indonesian cuisine preferred on the Western cuisine, maybe preferred on Arabic cuisine. So they have lots of how this will be done. Alright, and then before we move into barriers to the international trade. Okay, so under barriers to international trade, we have the tariff barriers. So these tariff barriers is just divided into three. Okay, we do have export tariff, uh, transit tarif, and also import tarif. Okay, so under import tarif, we have ad valorem, specific, and also compound. Okay, um, okay, sorry, yeah. Okay, so under tarif barriers, okay, just to tell and inform you all, we have two types. Okay, at the left side in here, I have tarif barriers, TB, which is on my right side here, we have non-tarif barriers, NTBs. So for the tarif barriers, we do have three types. Okay, we have export tarif, transit tarif, and also import tarif. Okay, I have to mention one by one. Okay, export tarif is the tax. Okay, tarif is tax. Tarif is tax that placed on the good that is traded internationally. Okay, that is for export tariff. I want you to remember and read my lips. Remember, you can jot down while you're hearing this lecture. Okay, export tariff is the tax that be traded internationally. Okay, tax that be imposed by the government. Whose government? Home government or the host government? The home government. Okay, the can I say home government? It depends. If you are the home government, so host government will be imposed your product. Okay, and then transit tariff is the levy that pass through bound from one country. Example, I told you, let's say you want to work in Singapore, so Singapore government will be imposed transit tariff to you. For example, like visa, passport, okay, levy, in order for you, because you are actually bound into the another country. And the third one, we have import tariff. Okay, import tariff involving like ad valorem. Ad valorem is referred to the percentage of the market value. And specific is referring to the specific dollar amount per unit. And the last one, for the compound, we have combination between ad valorem and also specific. I give very example import tariff. You dine in McDonald's because McDonald's is from franchising from other countries, right? So you will see from your receipts, there will be 6% charge for this McDonald's services. It's not GST, it's about tax because that is imported products. So this 6% and then equals to, let's say your meal is 10 ringgit, so 6% will be around maybe 60 cents will be charged on that. So your total meal will be 10 ringgit 60 cents, example. So ad valorem is stated the percentage, specific is ringgit Malaysia, and compound combined by that. For 6% equals to 10 ringgit and 60 cent. Or sorry, compound will be 6% equals to 60 cent. Let's say from 10 ringgit. Okay. So altogether, total your meal will be 10 ringgit and 60 cent. You get me? I hope that you will clear on that. Okay. Any question, please shoot in the WhatsApp group. Okay. And then for the non-tarif barriers, we have quota. Quota is limitation. We put some limitation to a certain transactions. For example, maybe I can say like quota um, okay, Chinese, Japanese market rice producer, they put some quota to export their product. Okay, they put some only 90% is for the local producer and 10% is the international or import rice producer, meaning to say from Malaysia, let's say from Thailand, from Pakistan and so forth, because they want to protect in terms of their rice producer manufacturer. Okay, Japan. And the second one, numerical export control. Also, you can use the same thing. Okay. Okay, like quota just now, maybe I can share with you all. Let's say in IIC itself. Okay. To differentiate between the international and also local student. Okay. Local student must have at least 90% in IIC, let's say, and 10% must be international because we derive the quotas from like from IIU and Philippines. If we have foreign students and we do have international students, but we have to put some quotas on that limitation. How much foreign student, how much is for the international students, like that. And for the numerical export control, just now I told you, like Japanese just now, Japan country, they export 90% must be local producer. 10% they put like uh, another import control. Okay, 90% must be come from Japan country because they have to protect their rice manufacturer producer. And product and testing standard, like Malaysia, we do have like SIRIM, we do also have Malaysian Productivity Control, okay, like MPC, okay, and also we do have like JAKIM, because we're talking about test product and testing standard, right? Halal JAKIM. Like in Indonesia, we have Majlis Ulama Indonesia, right? MUI, to endorse whether the certain product is halal toiban, meet the halal requirement. And then restricted access to the distribution networks. This is done by China because China revoke. They don't want to use uh, like YouTube. Okay, they don't want to use WhatsApp, but they use like WeChat in order to replace for their communication apps, yeah, or social media. And public sector procurement policies. Okay, if you realize, like Malaysia, we imposing on more on Bumi Putras. Okay, policy on that. Okay, we're talking about procurement policy. Maybe I can give some example in here. Uh, Malaysia imposing like 300% of tarif to the imported car. Okay, and regulatory controls, we're talking about how does this during COVID-19. Okay, regulation on SOP, standard of procedure, must be endorsed by each of the industry and organization. Example, to use mask, to use sanitizer, and make sure you check SOP based on taking the temperature before you entering of the organization. That is one of the part of regulatory controls. And then currency controls, we are talking about how does the foreign exchange, okay, especially the monetary system itself, how about the currency, whether the currency is stable or not. Okay, we learned in the previous earlier one, if you still remember, whether it's fixed exchange rate, whether it's exchange rate system, it depends whether the country is relying on US dollar or maybe the country have pegged value. For example, like in Euro country, they have their own Euros currency. And then for the investment control, we do also have like foreign direct investment and also foreign portfolio investment. Whether the investment we done only the purpose to control, or maybe you done maybe in other way around, not for control, but in other way around, in order to spend. Okay, in order to have like uh, to have some additional on your investment. And local purchase requirement, this is something like supporting like buy local product, buy Muslim first product. Example, this is what been embarked in Malaysia. Okay, we do promote of the local product. Buy Malaysian best brand. Okay, for example, buy local fruits. Okay, so this is to one of the strategy. Okay, in order to have people more on uh, purchase on the local product. Okay, support the local. So they have a lot of hashtag. Buy Muslim product first. Buy hashtag. Buy local product. Support the local. Okay, and then we would like. Local purchase requirement, meaning to say you have some promotion when you buy local product. You have more and more uh, priority and also facilities on that benefits. Okay, and moving on to this is part of the types of barriers to international trade. We do have this one is just in the diagram. Just now I put in the notes, so that one been transferred into this diagram. This one we can skip. And for the promotion of the international trade, we do have subsidies, foreign trade zones, and then also export financing programs. So under subsidies, subsidies is the kinds of mechanism that been injected by the government in order to help and boost of the local business in order to penetrate their market to international wise. So when we're talking about subsidy, subsidy mostly it for the beneficial for the local entrepreneur mostly. Okay, local business and local people, public, I mean local. But I remember in 2014, our government before that is subsidized all petrol to all people in Malaysia. But after that, the government start to take back the subsidy facilities because this is actually for the local, but it's already been used for everyone just during that time. So when the government start to take back the subsidy on the petrol oil, the public start to have like I say grievances. They start to angry. Okay? They feel like something like it's not you imagine something like you give something people benefit and suddenly you want to take back. So of course people will angry, right? So of course in other way around, maybe for the subsidy India, maybe that one is for local. For international, um, the government is giving something like subsidy to the local fishermen. Okay, for example, like their diesel facilities on like for those who are farmer, they give some seed, okay, new seeds to the farmer in order to have more on the agriculture industry, so they can export those the agriculture product to the overseas, to the outside. And we do also have foreign trade zone. Foreign trade zone is something like facilities being given to the certain zone, whereas it's a geographic area where imported or exported goods receive preferential tariff treatments. Example in here they said Maquiladora factory located in FTZ in Mexico, situated near the US border, Mexican factory. So they get some preferential tariff treatment. If you cannot recognize on this, maybe I can give example like the borders between Kalimantan and Sarawak, for example. They do have some tariff treatment on that. Okay, and if let's say in Malaysia itself, we do have like in Langkawi Island, okay, Pulau Langkawi. For those who are buying something like products in there, they also have the preferential treatment, okay, tariff treatment in there. Example that free duty tax area, okay, handbags, chocolates, all the household chores, for example, like periuk belaga, okay, something like appliances to cook everything might be more can I say cheaper compared to, even though it's imported product, but they get some cheapest price due to free duty zone. And if you go like Labuan Island, the preferential tariff are more on imported car. So you can get the price for imported car like more reasonable price compared to like in Venezuela area, because in there they have preferential tariff treatment, lebih murah lah. But if I'm not mistaken, if you want to buy car in Labuan Island, you have to stay within 5 years, and if you want to go earlier than 5 years, you have to pay also the tax. If I'm not mistaken, please correct me for those who are from there. Huh? Okay, and we're moving to the next one. Okay, International Trade Administration (ITA), so division of U.S. Department of Commerce, determines whether an unfair trade practices has occurred. Confirm cases referred to U.S. International Trade Commission. This is about um, the national trade controlling unfair practices. So they have two types of unfair trade practices. We have the government subsidy and also unfair pricing practices. This is about like anti-dumping regulations, okay, SOPA 301 and countervailing duty CVD. So I want you to read this one further in your long notes to have more understanding, because I do provide you all with the very lengthy notes. It's very loose if you don't want to read it. Alright, and next one, last but not least, the objective of the unfair trade practices law. So, what is the objective? Okay, to bear in mind, the first objective is to promote global efficiency by encouraging production in those countries that can produce the good most efficiently. So it's like the concept like we learned in topic 3, okay, uh, when the country have more on efficient certain product, actually you will promote more and you will export that product. So that is the concept of comparative advantage. And yeah, and if the another country is better on that production, the country will the other country will import on that country. So that ensure that the trade occurs on the basis of comparative advantage, not the size of the government subsidy. And of course, the trade should be like in comparative advantage, not based on what the government want to give you and then you rely on that. And lastly, protect the consumer from predatory behavior. Predatory behavior means that fraudulent, okay, maybe they victimize you, okay, they do some discrimination, example. So we're hoping that they will be clear on that. So thank you for now, and thank you for listening up to my video lecture. I hope that any question please shoot in my WhatsApp group, in our official WhatsApp group, International Business. And for those who still not subscribe to my channel, please subscribe to Nordin. So any latest my notes and lecture, you will be have some what we call notification, right? Okay, so hashtag please stay safe. Yeah, please take care, stay safe. Please use your mask, hashtag social distancing, use your sanitize your hand, washing your hand twice, and make sure that you sing the song twice, okay, to make sure that you keep safety and health. And last but not least, please use your mask, yeah, well, and not use below your chin, and use at your ears. And for the girls, you can use mask extender. If not, you will get something like uh, what we call sores ears, right? Like me, I don't like the mask extender as well. Okay, bye, peace, assalamualaikum, thank you.